When was the last time you gave yourself permission to see keen? Take off the shade, stop the cycle. It's your time to build, to rise, to lead on purpose. I used to quiet the roar in my chest, played it small, second guessed, but now I see what I was born to do. Dreams don't wait, why should you? All those voices, they don't define me. I broke the loop, I rewrote the timing. Now every step's got fire beneath, 'cause playing safe won't bring me peace. I dream it, I build it, I elevate it. No more shade, I finally faced it. I hold the pen, I write the climb. This is my chapter, this is my time. Empowered to move, inspired to win. What if you never begin? So I rise on purpose by design. It's not someday, it's my time. Tired of tired, I stood up tall, let the fear rise, then watched it fall. The cost of waiting's way too high. I'd rather leap than wonder why. What are you gonna lose if you never choose? This is your permission slip, signed by you. Make it count, get it done, command your presence, let the world see you shine. They told me to wait, I said if not now, when? I built it for bold, I won't pretend that I'm not made to lead again and again. I dream it, I build it, I elevate it. No more shade, I finally faced it. I hold the pen, I write the climb. This is my chapter, this is my time. Empowered to move, inspired to win. What if you never begin? So I rise on purpose by design. It's not someday, it's my time. On purpose. Your story starts now.
Hello. Welcome. Happy Friday. This is Nikki, your girl. Welcome to Building Your Leadership Mindset podcast. I am super excited to have this special event for our Ladies of Leadership with our new anthology launching May 17th in Chicago. And this is the Taking Off the Shades Facebook Live Takeover. We're on YouTube and LinkedIn, and we have some amazing, phenomenal guests for you today. One is most of our 37 authors in this amazing anthology. It's been a long time coming. We actually have right in the green room the creator of that song, On Purpose. I am super ecstatic that we have our theme song for this tour, which kicks off the Empowered to Inspire. Just excited for everything, blessed and humbled to have these women in my life, to be a part of this journey. Let's just tell you where it began really quick before I start getting some of them on here. So first and foremost, we have a community called Ladies of Leadership. As you know, we have been growing strong for the past 2.5 years, and we're continuing this movement to continue to bring women into our world and walk the rest of our lives with each other while we're growing, building, impacting, and just being the change that this world needs at this time, and for our future. So I'm super excited again to be here to share these moments. But, just on a regular Friday night call, we were all just masterminding, talking about all of the things we talk about. And someone said, why do we always pick the wrong one? And that was the question of the night. Like, why do we always pick the wrong one? And I know they were referring to relationships and, just that, significant other. And one of our members, Addie, she'll be here at the 12 o'clock hour. She's my cousin in Puerto Rico, and she just ran crazy in her studio office, and she got a pair of shades on, and she's like, because we're always going into relationships with these on. And I don't have my shades right now, but I will have them in a bit. But yeah, so just that alone instantly sparked a download, like instantly. So I'm thinking, okay, I've been at this time, I was in my marriage for 21 years. And I said, oh, well, why don't we write a book about it? It could be a gift to the community. We'll do a compilation of all the women who want to participate. It would be a Ladies of Leadership anthology. And we're going to give tips and guides and share our experiences with the relationships that we've experienced in our life, whether it was with a significant other, with a parent, with a child, with ourselves, with God. Just all of those stories are in these 37 chapters. And I'm super, super excited again that download even happened. We left it in the parking lot for about a year. We didn't know really how to move forward, how to go with it. And, everyone was growing, everyone was doing something, and we were growing the community. So February of 2024, we said, you know what, we're going all in. We're going to get this done. And we started writing the chapter. But of course, with writing our chapters and getting this book together, God gave me another blessing download. And that is to get a sponsor for this event. And I'm super excited and proud to have Top Fox as that sponsor for us, who provided all of the shades to all of our authors so we can have for our book cover. And the story goes on. And throughout the day, we'll have our 12 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and our 8 p.m. showing tonight that we will share some other authors. And you'll get bits and pieces of the story, but I just want to get right into it and get one of our first authors on here. And she has been in our community since 2023. She was actually at the original BALM Global Business launch, our Empower to Inspire event back in May of 2023. She's been in our community. She's doing amazing things. And I am just so excited to have her a part of this and me a part of her world and what she's doing. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But she is the amazing from Philadelphia in Jersey now. She is Deisha Henfield. Let's get her right on here. Hello, love.
Hi, good morning.
Great morning. How are you? Tell us where you're tuning in from and who you are and what is it that you do really quick.
I'm currently residing in New Jersey by way of Philly. So I'm Philly all the way, 1000% Philly girl, all day, every day. I am a 4-time international best-selling author based on anthologies that I've been a part of. And also I have a poetry book that I self-published myself. So I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a poet, I'm a coach. I'm a deacon at the church, and I'm a child of God. That's the most important thing, because none of that is possible without him. Then what did you need, Nikki? Because that's all I got right
now. Yes, no, that's good. That's good. So I guess the question I have for you in regards to this particular anthology, when we first bring it to the community, what was your initial thought, and were you ready to write this chapter?
I'm always ready. As far as, but I still have to wait for a download, because a lot of times I'm ready, but I don't know exactly what I want to say, and I don't always want to lean on my own accord or whatever. So when it came to writing this book, I believe it was about relationships, right? And so my first thought was, okay, what relationship was I going to write about? My relationship with my mom, my relationship with my ex-husband, like what relationship was I going to talk about? And so turns out I didn't write about, well, I wrote about it in a sense with my mom, but I really didn't write about that. I wrote about my relationship with God, which encompassed other relationships. So yeah, but I was ready.
You always stay ready. And I know that we're talking about taking off the shades and all those things. And we have some other members that just came in, and we'll get them up in a second. But what I did want to ask you as well is you're working on a book. It's kind of like almost wrapping up. And I'm so excited because this book has been on your heart probably a little bit before, or about the same time that we mentioned taking off the shades, and to see that we're going to be launching them kind of back to back. I am so excited to be even a part of that one as well. Please tell us about that. And, how did, just tell us about that.
Well, one of the ways God deals with me is he downloads book titles into my spirit. And I don't be knowing if those are books for me per se. Well, most times when they're for me, I know they're mine. But sometimes I'll be like, wondering is it for me to tell somebody else? Because sometimes I've told other people you're supposed to write this book. But so the book that you're talking about is Letter to the Little Girl. And so that book came to me years ago, to be honest. It came to me years ago and I just didn't do anything with it. I just didn't. It just was not the time. Everything is done in perfect timing, right? And so I think God, I had to meet certain people that were not in my life yet. I had to get rid of some people that were in my life. And the right people had to be inside of this book. And so Letter to the Little Girl is basically a letter to your younger self. And in this book, I just believe that God is going to heal. I believe that God is going to transform. I am just so excited. Every time I talk about it, I just get this overwhelming feeling in my spirit because it's really not about me. I thank all authors, 18 of us, that decided that we were ready to speak to that little person inside, because to me, it's about healing at the root, which will be coming later in the year. It's not a book. It's going to be like a workshop, but it's about healing at the root, and healing at the root begins with that younger person inside of you.
I love it. Actually, I just got chills when you said that, because now if I put both of these titles together, right, Taking Off the Shades, The Letter to the Little Girl, it took me years to finally decide, okay, I'm going to take off the shades. And now I can let the little girl know that when I did take off the shades, this is everything I did. So I love that it just blends together. So I'm super excited. Stay right there. We have another beautiful. So it's probably about 6 a.m. where she's at. Like I think 6:16. And she woke up early. She has her shades on. She's ready. She is the original superwoman. I absolutely love and adore her. And she's going to be part of our weekend this weekend for the autism awareness. She is none other than Jeanette Paxia. Hey, beautiful. How are you?
Good morning, everyone. I'm good. Good. Glad to be here.
So good to see you up bright and early. Thank you so much for jumping on.
Of course.
Tell us, where are you tuning in from? What is it that you do? And we'll ask some questions about our new book, finally.
I'm tuning in from sunny California. And what do? I'm a women's empowerment coach and speaker, and I give back by working with kids to increase their self-confidence. A multiple time international best-selling author. Looking forward to this book. I love the women in this book, and it's going to be so life-changing for so many people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I just want to ask you a little bit about when you found out that this book was available to the community and you said, I want to turn in a chapter. Share what were your first thoughts of what were you going to write about, and did you go on a healing journey through this writing as well?
I feel like anytime I write a story for a book, it is a healing journey. For me, writing is healing. And I feel like it's my story to share with others so that they can heal. I had to sit and reflect on, okay, what do I want to share about? There's so many things that have happened to me in my life. And this is the story that came to me. This is what I felt like was important for this book. So definitely a healing journey. Definitely, I think it'll help others, and really just trying to control everything and just letting it come to them, and letting whatever the path they're supposed to be on just show up for them. And take off those shades so you can see the path that's coming forward.
Yes, yes. So I'm going to ask you guys both for your chapter title and for your chapter title, and what do you want the readers to take away based on your chapter without giving too much away, right? Disha, you are up, love.
So my chapter title is He Knows My Name, and he is speaking of God. And so what I want people to understand is that God is always with them. He always sees them. He counts them as worthy, and he loves them. That's what I want them to see when they look at that. And even when they look in the mirror, that's what he sees. And I want them to see what he sees in them.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes, yes, yes. Jeanette, you are up. And then I have a follow-up question. Then we're going to bring the lady behind our theme song for Empower to Inspire. And she's also going to be a keynote speaker at our event. And I'm super excited. Go ahead, Jeanette. The name
So
of
my
your
title is Watch for the Signs, A Journey Through Faith. And I chose chapter 33 because 33 is an important number to me. And I want people to really understand that it is moving forward in faith, and those signs are there, and to let go. And whatever faith you are, if you're spiritual, whatever it is, let go and let God is what I say. But everybody has their own spirituality. But just let go and let it happen. That path is there for you. And sometimes when you over control or try to control it, you're just fighting for no reason, and it's causing you stress and pressure. So just let go, move forward.
Awesome. Awesome. And my follow-up question is, when was your take off the shades moment? Tisha?
Oh, wow. I've had a lot of them. I don't know what I wrote about in the book.
Well, you could just share a take off, for our audience.
Well, I think my take off the shade moment for me is really when I kind of had like a breakdown. Because I lived in what I call depression darkness. So I lived in darkness for 20 plus 30 years, basically, right? Nobody knew because I was good at putting my mask on. And so when my daughter went to college, that was my take off the shade moments, because I had to confront myself. There was no more taking care of my children. It was just me and by myself in my house. And so when I had to confront myself, that's when the shades had to come off, because I had to begin to know myself. And I had to be honest with myself and truthful with myself. And that's why I walk in my truth every day. There's no more mask. There's no hiding. I am who I am, and I say what I'm going to say. And you can take that and love me, or take it and don't love me. But that's what you're going to get. Okay. But you're going to love me, though, because I'm so lovable.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. But I love how real and raw. And sometimes we have to get to that point where we can, which will give us the confidence to take off the shades and step into everything that we're supposed to be stepping into. So I love that. That's powerful. Jeanette, when was your take off the shades moment?
It's prior to this story. It's how this story happened in the book. But I had a breakdown, and I sat at the edge of my bed and just really let go of trying to control everything. I wasn't sure why the things were happening, but I just let go and asked my higher power to please just take this from me. And it was a complete breakdown, but it then leads into the story and how everything happened.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you guys so much. Stay right there. We have a couple ladies that cannot make it onto our live broadcast today, but I do want to highlight them. And we also want to thank Top Fox as well for the shade. So these are some of the testimonies that we collected throughout our journey. And I just want to share their thoughts. I'm actually going to share yours and Jeanette's and Disha's first.
Hello, my name is Jeanette Paxia, owner of Pax Coaching, and I'm from Modesto, California. Thank you so much, Top Fox.
Good afternoon. My name is Disha Henfield from New Jersey, and I am a U.S. Navy veteran, author, speaker, and coach. And I just wanted to say thank you, Top Fox.
Hello, this is Desiree Cruz, the CEO of Merge Worldwide, and I host live events all over the world for inspiring entrepreneurs. And I just want to give a huge shout out to Top Fox for sponsoring Taking Off the Shades. I cannot wait to rock your sunglasses all over the world. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, those are just a few. Tune in right now because we have a very special guest. Her name is Raquel Soto. Met her through the CLA Collective Leaders Academy. We had a conversation and we are now attached at the hip. I love everything she's doing. She's your GPS for success. Let's welcome our keynote speaker for the Chicago events, Empower to Inspire, and the creator behind our theme song, On Purpose, for this event. Hello, Raquel. Welcome, welcome. Oh, you're on mute, love.
Yeah, it would help if I unmute. Hello from Chicago. I am so excited to be here with you and all the ladies. This is a very exciting book that you guys have and launching. So important.
Thank you so much. So, based on what you've heard and a little bit about what we've been sharing, what was your take off the shade moment? And I know we've all had many. Do you have one you want to share with us?
Um, it was really leaving the good for the greater, because I was working in corporate and I was really good at it, making very nice money. And there were a lot of things, though. It was funny because God told me later on, you're really romanticizing that story. we, and we don't even realize how much we're romanticizing the thing that's actually keeping us trapped. And there were things that I wanted to do. I was, I took care, I was taking care of my kids. I was a breadwinner, but in the meantime, my mental health was getting, was deteriorating. My physical health was deteriorating. I was losing a lot of my hair, and yet I loved this job. And it was because, of course, I'm getting accolades, I'm getting bonuses, I'm getting money. I love my staff. I was able to do a lot of multimedia things outside of what I was doing. And so it had all the fun things, all the things people wanted. But in the back end, it was very messy. And then it came to a point I was doing my coaching on the side, and God's like, I want you to leave. And I was just like, you've got mail, Jesus. I need this amount of money because I don't know if I'm hearing you right, just to prove it. And he was just like, hold my beer. And all this money came in. And really, in retrospect, I was talking to my daughter about it yesterday. It was such a blessing. I didn't recognize that, how much I was really romanticizing the thing that was a really beautiful prison. And I'm not saying the place was a prison, but for me, because I was supposed to leave earlier and I didn't. And just recognizing I needed to be, I wanted to be a certain kind of mom with my kids, and I couldn't because I was working 50, 60, 70 hours. I was doing a lot of international work. So I was always on. I had a beautiful cell phone that was, tethered to me. It was just like pretty handcuff. And then it was just like really recognizing when I was offered that opportunity. And that's the thing, is we're always getting these invitations to change, these invitations to pivot. And we have to be like, okay, let me look at things for what they actually are and stop romanticizing them. And when I said yes to the invitation, that's when everything started to shift. And right now, I have a great love of my life, that he's amazing. And, the restoration of my body, of my hair, of my mental health, my business, the things I wanted with my children, everything has been restored in the last 5 years. But had I not listened to the invitation of like, you're romanticizing this, I don't know where I would be. Frankly, I think that probably I would be sick in the hospital, or worse. But
Yeah.
it was that pivot of that invitation. And that's really around taking off the shades, right? It's like the invitation of pause, stop, look carefully at what's happening, look clearly at what's happening. And then we have a choice. Are we going to be brave? Are we going to be courageous? And that's what I love about the stories in the book, that I can't wait to read them, because they're really stories of courage. Of, yeah, you can do this too.
They absolutely are. Each one, it's really truly going to be a guide to really stepping into what you were designed. Just letting go everything that doesn't serve us, which I absolutely love. And I love that you talked about mental health and just kind of your whole being. Like, how do you protect that? So the question I have for all of you are, how do you now protect your peace and purpose differently than before? And I'll start with you, Disha.
Now I set boundaries. My daughter tells me all the time, Mom, you never had well, I guess I used to didn't. She said, Mom, you never set boundaries. You just always still be there no matter what people say, what people do. You just still be, kind or do for them, right? And so now I set boundaries. Like when I moved here to my new home, certain people can't come here. And it's not because I don't love you or I don't care about you, but I am protecting my peace. There will be no negativity through these doors. And that means that certain people, even though I love you, you cannot come to this house. And so those boundaries are set. And so setting clear boundaries has been how I am now protecting my peace.
That is so powerful. I just got chills because I know you told me that not too long ago, and I was like, "What? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I love that. Set those boundaries, Jeanette."
For me, it's that me time. I help and serve and work with others all day long, but I start my morning off with a walk, with meditation, with yoga, with coffee. I'm a coffee addict. And just that time for me. And I've started doing someone I was in an event last week and someone suggested that you start your day with 10 items of gratitude that you write down. And I just have a note on my phone, and then 10 things you want to manifest. So I've added that in, but it's that routine. And then at night I have a bubble bath that I take. So it's all day long I serve others, but in the morning and at night, that's my time. That's my me time. And if I don't do that, my mindset for the day is completely different. If I just jump out of bed and start working with others and start doing things for other people and not myself, then it's completely different and people notice my energy is different. I'm not as positive. So I think it's important, even if you only have 5 minutes a day, you don't need to do it for hours, but just 5 minutes to yourself. Do something for you because we give, but we don't give to ourselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. And sometimes when we don't give to ourselves, God has a funny way of sitting you down anyway, right? I totally remember last year, it was right before the Warrior Women BALM Global. I told myself from the CLA Global Summit to that event, it was just run, move, build, act, right? It was all those things that I said after this event, I am going to take a week off. I'm not doing anything. I'm not putting nothing on my calendar. Then the event happens, and slowly but surely, I start adding stuff to my calendar. And unfortunately, sometimes it's not a straight attack to us, but it would attack our family, right? So my wife ended up in the hospital. That required me to sit back down and take the time off. So I really listened to that. So when you promise yourself something, just stick to it. The work is going to be there. Everything's going to be there. You're not taking anything away with you at the end of the day. Peace of mind and routines and boundaries, all those things matter. We think we can dismiss them, and it will totally take us really off path if we're not careful with treating those things just as a priority as everything else. So thank you guys for that. Raquel, what's your insight?
I love that. I'm like with Jeanette too. In the morning, I need to have my prayer meditation time, or I'm not a nice human. So I always tell people, everybody's trained around me that I need my coffee and Jesus. If you want me to be more Jesus than not. so I can be a nice human to everybody else. And then, when things come up during the day, what really brought me into mindset was because I tried to take my life 4 different times. And after the 4th time, because I'm not always the sharpest tool in the shed, I was just like, okay, what is happening in my mind? I need you to tell me what's happening in my mind and why I thought this was okay. And so I try to remember that nothing has gone wrong. And that when I am, having a negative thought, or I feel like I'm spiraling, what is the tool? Nothing's gone wrong. I'm feeling that because of the thoughts I'm having. So then being able to slow down, and during the day, if I'm having these thoughts that are not helpful, your brain it thinks it's being helpful by offering you something. And I'm like, oh, it's just an offer. I don't have to take it. So that's another way that I protect my peace. It's like, okay, a thought's coming up. Is this thought helpful? Is this the thought that I want to continue to have and manifest in my life? Is this the reality I want? And then deal with that. Because before, I was really a victim of what I call toxic positivity. So I didn't deal with it, but what's not confronted is not changed. And so I just remember, give myself some grace. And when the thoughts come up, there's nothing wrong with me. It's just an offer, and I can choose to do something with that thought then. So that's a main way that I protect my peace. Have to have my coffee and Jesus in the morning, and give myself a lot of grace during the day to just deal with the thoughts as they come, and knowing that, you know what, it's fine. It's fine. Nothing has gone wrong, and I'm not broken, and neither are you.
That is awesome. That is awesome. We have another lady leader who just logged in. She's in the green room. She is just amazing and awesome. And she's also been here through the journey right after the first official business launch. We're going to welcome our girl from South Carolina, Yara and Ortiz. Welcome, welcome, Mama. I seen you getting ready.
Yes, buenos dias, buenos dias. Good morning.
Welcome, welcome. I don't know if you've been tuning in on YouTube and just kind of going through what we've been talking about, but introduce yourself, where you're tuning in from, what is it that you do, and tell us your chapter name.
Oh, my chapter name. That's a good one. I don't remember.
I know we wrote this chapter so long ago.
Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. So Yara N. Ortiz, owner and CEO of BCS. I am in South Carolina, and I am a financial consultant, and I provide bookkeeping and financial management services to nonprofit organizations. I am also a personal financial coach, and I empower women to take back control of their money and get that stability, financial stability they deserve. Single mamas, I serve single mamas in regards to coaching, and I have a son. I'm in graduation mode, so a lot going on. He's a senior. Yeah, he's 17, going on 25. Yay. So that's where I'm at.
I love it. I love it. So while you get your chapter, we are going to talk to Disha and Jeanette really quick about our theme song, On Purpose. So, and then we're going to talk to the creator and how she put this masterpiece together. Disha, your initial thought with taking off the shades and what Ladies of Leadership represents and what we're building and listening to the words. Just share with me your thoughts on our theme song.
Oh, okay. So I think the theme song fits the Ladies of Leadership in BALM Global perfectly. I think that Rachel did it, right? Raquel did it.
Raquel.
Okay. I think you did an awesome job with it. Yeah, I do. I think that you really did a beautiful job. I think that it's very fitting. And I can tell that Nikki loves it. And so that's really what matters.
I do.
You did a great job.
I do. Thank you so much. I love the way she did it, right? Because I was like, so we're going to be on Prospera TV with Elena Rodriguez, who has a TV channel where we're going to have our shows there, and She Leads Loud is going to be there. And I seen her put a nice little beat to Elena's intro, and I'm like, I love that. Let me kind of tap into it. And then I just asked her, and literally in like less than 2 hours, we had our song. Jeanette, what were your thoughts, love?
I think it's important for empowered women to empower others. And one of the ways we can do that is through music. So having that along with the book, along with the release, along with all the events that we're doing is important because it helps to ensure that we're learning in different ways, right? So, and music is one of those positive ways. So beautiful. I'm so excited to be part of this and to be part of the whole thing. Thank you for that beautiful song. And look forward to it just accompanying everything we're doing.
Awesome. Awesome. Jada, you ready for me?
Yes. Yes. So my title is Shattered Illusions, Navigating the Aftermath of Narcissistic Abuse to Reclaim My Identity. And I am chapter 4.
Yeah. And what we asked earlier was this a healing chapter for you when this idea was brought up? What were your initial thoughts, and were you able to gain healing through this process?
Yes. As you know, I have shared my story a few times now, and I have written about it a few times. And every time it's like a new layer that I peel off. It's a new thing that perhaps I realize that I still need to target and heal from. And I need to be aware as I write or share or anything like that of the triggers. And thankfully, I'm in that space where I am way more aware of my triggers and how to counteract them so that it doesn't get to me, right? So yes, it was definitely reliving certain things so vividly. That is crazy. And just telling myself again, you're out of that. You're living the life that you're supposed to be living, the purpose that God created for you to move forth, and you're doing it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, you are. Yes, we all are. And the beautiful, most greatest thing about it is that we're all doing it together, which I absolutely love. And I am blessed to have that. So, Raquel, after listening to my podcast voice note, some of the things that I kind of put together, I just want to publicly tell you, like, you really captured the essence of every single tagline that we use, every single, like, you really put everything in there. You could have just kind of picked and pulled, but you made it, I feel like, getting the results so fast back to me, and also listening to the words that we've been saying for 2.5, almost 3 years. Just tell me kind of your thought process when I even brought the idea up and all that good stuff. And then we have final question, because I know Disha may have to get off. Hopefully we can keep her on the full hour. But I do have a question for everyone. Go ahead, Raquel.
It came about because I had created my own theme song, and then I was just praying and thanking God for the opportunity in Prospera. And then a thought came to me, right? It's that invitation I was talking about earlier. It's like, see if anybody else would like a theme song. And I was like, oh, that'll be fun. So I offered, and I'm so glad that you said yes. And so I love, I just really do the coaching thing. I just ask, and I'm open, and I have a safe space, and I'm like, okay, what are your words? What are you feeling? What do you want people to feel? And I was creating all kinds of different genres. I did one there was more like, Motley Crue, ACD for somebody else. It was more, R&B, fun dancing for Elena. This one is also a fun song. So it was like all different kind of genres. And for you, I love that you sent me the the mini podcast. I love voice notes because I was able to really tap into your love for your people and your vision and your passion and and your mission, and it was coming through in your voice. And so it was just a really beautiful co-creation process. So I was able to grab your heart and put it into words so that we can also like bop to it as well. So I'm glad that you wanted a fun song too that we can bop to. That's kind of my process. And then I thought about it. I used to do that in high school, and I would write poems for people, and they would tell me how they were feeling, and I was able to translate it for them very fast. But I think very fast, and I connect very fast, and so it was just a great privilege to be able to do that with you, and to really thank you for trusting me with your vision and playing with me in my sandbox. And I love music. God was bringing back music to me late December, early January. And then a lot of opportunity has been opened up because of it. Well, that's kind of my process. I just connect with the message, with the messenger, and then like, okay, what is their vision? What is their mission? How do I translate that with them and for them? And then I just go and play. I do a lot of playing. That's my process.
I love it. Well, let me tell you, we have 4 versions of that song, and it was really a no-brainer when I brought it up to the team. We were literally on the meeting the same day. We took up our whole agenda, just re-listening to the songs twice, and then picking one. We do have some other favorites. It's a little bit more slower, a little bit more sultry. I felt like this one was. And you know who it reminded me of? And someone said it, and I'm like, oh my God, I can listen to her album from beginning to end. And it's Avril Lavigne, which I absolutely love. And, just her music about, like, I think it brings the same essence. And I've been having the song on repeat. I think my family's kind of getting a little annoyed, but that's okay. So thank you. And I definitely look forward to working with you beyond this and for all of our stuff, because we're going to all 50 states. So I don't know if I want to keep the same one or do I want to change the vibe each and every time, but we'll figure that out. Thank you so much for believing in what we're doing and being part of our Lady Boss BALM community, being a part of our Empower to Inspire, which we'll talk about in a minute. But what I do want to ask is, what is one shade you're still working on removing? One shade that we're still working on removing. Disha, you are up, love.
Oh, that's a hard question. I wasn't ready. I thought I stayed ready. One shade that I'm still working on. Wow, I really don't. I don't know, because I've become a person that can change my mindset, right? So the negative thoughts come, but I combat them with the word of God or with an affirmation that I have already centered into my spirit. So I guess it's a consistent journey, because I mean, like, the biggest thing for me is like the feeling. You'll see a letter to the little girl. I affirmed that little girl, but the feeling of feeling unseen, the feeling of feeling unworthy, unloved, like those things. I believe the devil knows that those are things that are still like a trigger for me, or a feeling for me. So I still get those feelings. So if I have to say I'm dealing with a shade, those will be the shades, right? Mm-hmm. But again, I am more mature in the spirit, and I'm more mature as a woman. And so now I combat those things. So that will be the shades. If I have to say something, those are the shades that I'm still trying to take off.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think those are shades that probably may linger on for a long time, but because we have the toolkits, we can just kind of, brush it off our shoulder. And that's what this book is going to do for each and every reader. But yes, it never stops. There's always going to be a new moment, a new person where we're going to be either deceived, we're going to be not happy or pleasant with, certain outcomes, because we're human and we're living this life that we don't know what next is coming. But if we're prepared with, we can outlive any take it off the shade moment. And this book is going to do that for you. So thank you for being real and raw, because that is the truth. It is never going to go away. There's still triggers that are going to happen, and we never know when they're going to happen. But let's get prepared for those steps. So thank you. Love that answer. Jeanette, you are up.
I feel like we're always learning and growing. We're never at the end of that process. And for me, honestly, the last couple of months have been kind of rough. And so trying to work towards using the tools that I provide my client with myself, and really understanding that the path may be hard right now. I'm going to talk a lot about path. Your path may be hard right now and may be difficult right now, but you don't have to understand why it's this way right now. You just have to, enjoy what is happening right now and know it's some kind of lesson for you, that it was put in front of you for a reason. And it may be for you and it may be for someone else later. So just accepting the path, even when it's difficult, because it's not always going to be easy. Absolutely not always going to be easy. But just moving through it in as much positivity and acceptance as you can, and letting go of the fact of that control, that you have to know why for everything, that you have to understand everything in the moment, because you may not. You may look back in 5 years and go, okay, now I know why I had that lesson. You may never know why it was. But accepting it, enjoying, because life is really too short to live unhappily. And if you're living in that despair and depression and frustration and not accepting where you're at right now, you're not living life.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That is so true. Oh, you gave me chills as well. I just continued to get chills. I did turn off my AC, so I know it's not that. But it just brings me back. That's so important. It brings me back to literally, so we're doing another, my first paid anthology, which is Me Versus Me, that is going to come out in July. And Ellis was reading her chapter, and something in her chapter just reminded me of what you just said. And in her chapter, she said, what's happening to me now is just temporary. Where she's going is what she's building. So it's not, we have to all understand that what we're going through is temporary, and now it's time to get out. I always tell our ladies, stay in that funk for only 24 hours. Don't allow it to soak up your power, to soak up every other thing that you have been working on, building on. So I love that this is not permanent. I love that you're tapping into all the tools that you have for your clients, because we have them. And it's not, again, it's not going to go away, but it is manageable. And the best way is to do it within community. I cannot stress that enough. Sometimes we feel like we are alone, and we're really not. We have the community there. Are we going to tap into them, right? Like, we need to not do it alone. So thank you for that. Yada, you are up.
Yeah, so for me, it's doubt and second guessing myself. That's the shade that kind of continue to haunt me, especially the kind that creeps in when I'm stepping into something new, something unknown, when I'm leveling up. That little voice that whispered, "Who do you think you are?" Or what if, right? What if you fail? Um, because when you are at the verge of a breakthrough, when that's when those doubts really intensifies, and those voices really get loud in your ear, like they get on your face. So we need to really learn how to ground ourselves on our faith, on our prayers, our community, our support system, to push through. Like you said, community is very important. And even when I've overcome, everything that I've overcome, doubt and insecurity still tries to block me, because it was so instilled in me that way back then. So they still try to block my light sometimes. But like I said before, I've learned to recognize my triggers. I've learned how to be aware and calling them out, um, and how to keep moving forward and just push through them.
Yeah. Wow. Again, we're all going through it. It was just me yesterday. I said, God is just always, always surprising me with what he thinks I can handle, right? And I thank you for all of it, because I said, I'm going to just do a whole takeover all day. I'm going to give all my women, because we're all on different schedules. We're moms, we're entrepreneurs, we're still working the 9-to-5 grind, we're traveling, we're doing all these things. But I want to make sure we highlight as many of our women as we can that can come on this weekend. So I'm going to be here from like 9 to 9, right? But yesterday I said, I'm going to go live at 3:00. I'm going to talk about it. I had some great calls. We finished all the stuff for the Youth Rising, the documents, submit our application. And I was tired. I was like, I don't think I'm going to do this live. I even got on late and all these things, because again, I promised myself that I'm going to do this, and I needed to prepare for it. So I had to battle. That's the me versus me. Hey, you said you were going to do X, Y, and Z. Are you going to do X, Y, and Z? Or are you not going to do X, Y, and Z? Because you already put it out there. So I'm having this battle with myself for like 6 minutes. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go live. I set up my stuff. I went in there, and I didn't die, because sometimes we're like feeling this emotion like, oh my God, I have to do this. And we think that it's like, I don't know what thoughts go into our head. But it's a constant battle. But we had the toolkit. We know what we're doing. We know the mission is greater. Hello, Danny Z. Welcome, Romika, Maritza, and Francis, all the way from Liberia, and Ricky Smith. Thank you all for joining us here today. Super excited again for this journey. But we're going to go to Raquel to give us the one shade she's still working on removing.
I love that. This conversation is so good. And I was thinking, what is the main thing God is dealing with me right now? And it's really grace over performance. We're high achievers, and the room rewires you, which is so important to have the right community, because it will rewire you, rewires the way you're thinking and feeling and your belief systems, and therefore your actions. And as high achieving people, it's very easy for us to just be in performance mode. but it's really remembering that we don't work to rest, but we rest first. We receive grace first, and then we go work. So it's really a detoxing of the like Old Testament way of doing things, of works and performance in order to get blessed. And even though we can mentally ascend in the moment, of course, God blesses us, right? He's blessed the work of our hands, and look at all the cool stuff that's happening. But really slowing down and be like, no, let me just receive grace first for the day, rest first for the day, and then allowing that to like fill me up first. So that way, when I'm with people, right, they're getting living water, they're getting, refreshing, not any bitterness or resentment or trepidation or anything like that for me. So it's really like slowing down enough and then going and loving on people. So that's my lesson, that I don't have to perform. I can just be, which is what I do with my clients. But it's like, okay, Dr. Heal yourself. Do for you what you do for other people. Slow down, receive, remind yourself of who you are, and then go do. So that's like the main thing right now that I'm detoxing from.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. This has been absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't got your ticket yet for the Empower to Inspire tour kickoff in Chicago for May 17th, we have the virtual option. Get your tickets. If you can be there live, get your tickets. You want to be in the room. Raquel, like I said, is one of our keynote speakers. Everyone gets a book with all purchases, from virtual to our sponsorship. If you lock in your spot, and if you can't watch it, because I know it's a Saturday, it's May, the weather's getting better, I know it's prom season, all of those things, definitely get your ticket. You get access to the recording. You can watch it later, be inspired, but lock in your spot. Also, I want to close with this because we've done great time. We have about 9 minutes to go. Well, 4 minutes to go. So I'm super excited again, just about everything that we talked about here. And we have some more authors. We have about 20 plus more authors that's coming in for the rest of the day. So definitely tune in, share this same YouTube link on your pages so that you can get to meet our authors. But the last thing I want you to share is, for those that are listening, what piece of advice you can give to someone wearing those shades out of fear. Tisha.
I would say that God does not give us a spirit of fear. And therefore, if you are still wearing the shades, or if you're going through something, just always seek God first. He is your counselor. He's your teacher. He's your friend. And he loves you so much. And so in all things, seek God. And as Jeanette said, people are just spiritual, whatever source. I'm Christian, so it's God for me, okay? But whatever your source is, whatever your higher power is, go to your higher power. That's what I have. God loves you, and I love you too.
Yes, and I love you because you've been with me all morning, and I love it.
My bell didn't ring.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you so much, love. Jeanette, you are up, love.
As a Canfield speaker, we say fear is fantasized experiences appearing real. So in other words, your negative goal setting, you're putting in front of you something that hasn't happened, and you're reacting with an actual emotion, fearing that. So instead of focusing on that fear and what you're scared of happening, put the positive goals in front of you. Look at what could happen to you and not what you think might happen. Take off those shades and look at really what's there and what's offered to you. So fear, fantasized experiences appearing real. Remove that fear. It's a negative goal setting because you're putting out there what you don't want. Where energy goes, flows where focus goes. So you're putting out there what you don't want, and you're heading towards that.
Yeah, absolutely. Every time someone, like when I used to share my ideas and what I'm going to do, and people look at me sideways or say something or question, right? I was like, you know what? I don't even want to answer this. I don't want this energy. I don't want this juju. I rebuke everything that you're saying right now. And I'll just, keep on my merry way, because I would have listened. And I'm just going to share my chapter really quick. My chapter is called Beyond I Do. So I've been married for almost 23 years, and my partner didn't see the vision for a very long time. And had I listened to those opinions, we would not be right here today launching this book, going on tour, creating a community of powerhouse women that are going to take over the globe, because I'm claiming it, because this is what I breathe, sleep, dream every single day. And I don't want to get emotional, but if you are battling that person, you have to have that conversation. Your vision that God downloaded to you is for you and you alone, and for the people that you will serve. And not everyone has to get it, not even your significant other. Just don't. But I've been blessed to be able to express and showcase what I've been able to do to get that understanding. And now she's 100,000% in, because we fought for it. I didn't give up. I didn't say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go to the top and I'm just going to leave you behind. No. How do we do this together for you to see? But I still have to be me. Whew, I had to let that out. I didn't think that was going to come out, but thank you for letting me share. Yada, you are up. What advice do you want to give to that person that still has the shades on for fear?
Yes, to not give up no matter what. If you are standing, on the edge of a breakthrough, to not give up. I know it can get heavy and feel heavy. I know it hurts. I know it can be confusing at times and even exhausting. But that pressure is a stretch before the shift. And you are being prepared. You're being prepared, and you're certainly not broken. You're breaking through. And like Disha said, God did not give us the spirit of fear, but love, power, and a sound mind. And He has a plan for us. He has a purpose for us. But guess what? He has to prune us and prepare us for what's to come. So don't give up.
Powerful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Never give up. It's literally right around the corner. I promise you. And if you can't see it, surround yourself with people that will guide you to that light. And those are these ladies right here. Everyone that we've touched that you're going to see today. Each and everyone has something to offer. So definitely stay connected with us in any capacity. Support these authors. Purchase their book. It's just phenomenal. Raquel, you are up. Like, I'm super hyped now, and I have to wait 2 hours for the next one.
I was like, "What, girl? You know how much makeup I have on right now." But regarding fear, faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Right? Faith comes to your ear gate, but so does fear. So when you are feeling fear, it's natural. It is a natural process because of what you've been hearing. So then audit, what have I been listening to, including that internal story, that internal narrative? Because it's very easy for us to get caught up in the internal story that's not even real, right? It's like Jenna was talking about, like a fantasized event. It hasn't even happened. It hasn't happened. Or you're rehearsing, building altars to failures, to the past that also do not exist. So if you're going to be building an altar through your memories, then at least think about the good things, because that'll start bringing faith back up to you. It's a life force. Fear and faith are life forces. They're forces, and you get to decide. Because I'm such a nerd. May the force be with you. It's almost May 4th. You get to decide the force, the energy, the frequency that's in your life by what you're going to be thinking about. So this is your ear gate. You get to protect it. You get to protect it. So if you're feeling fear, do a quick audit. What have I been listening to? What is the story I'm telling myself? And then take off your shade. Like, where did I get that from? Who am I listening to? Like, even Nikki, right? Loving somebody, but the vision is yours. God gave you the vision. And sometimes, right, for a long period of time, it's just going to be you and God. And that's also a lesson. Are you going to do a daily trust fall in what the passion and the vision, the mission that He put in your heart? You're not alone. Get in the room. It will rewire you. And there's nothing like being there live. So come to Chicago. You deserve a vacation anyway. Come.
Yes, let's celebrate. It's really going to be half of the training, the morning part, the first afternoon, because we're not starting at 8 or 9 o'clock. It will be the first half from like 12 to 4 or 5. And then we are going to have dinner, network. We're going to dance. It's going to be a party at the end because we're going to celebrate that we are empowering and inspiring the world and those that are going to take that next step into their next journey. That is the movement. That is what we're looking for, providing all the tools. Thank you so much, Disha, Jeanette, Yara, Raquel. Thank you so much for joining us at this 9 a.m. hour. Tune in, watch the rest of our authors the rest of the day. Thank you all for tuning into another episode of Building a Leadership Mindset, Taking Off the Shades, Facebook Takeover. That is what this is, and we'll see you soon. Thank you all so much. Stay blessed, and as I always say, make it count. Bye, everyone.